Hi, my name is Jermaine Williams. I'm based out of the Toronto area. I'm currently working as a product and web designer at Interactive Ontario and the Critical Digital Methods Institute and Creative Labor and Critical Futures Research Cluster at UTSC. Prior to this, I worked as a web designer at Cambridge Shelter. And overall, I've been working as a product and web designer for about 6 years. With enough determination, I feel like you can do anything. I believe that you can do anything, but some clues that these roles might be for you are, if you're looking to be a product designer, I think as someone who minored in studio art at university, the ability to take critique and feedback on your work is really important. As an artist, it's easy to become really attached to the work that you do as a part of you. And school helps massage that out with frequent critiques and comments from peers and professors. But as you design for other people, you have to disconnect from the personal to designing more inclusively. So that includes being okay with sharing your work, regularly seeking feedback on your work from stakeholders. And if you're in a workplace with great culture, you'll know that that feedback is never personal. If you're looking to be a web designer, I think resourcefulness and problem solving are keys when it comes to building websites. I'm faced with challenges every day, and the internal drive to solve problems is what keeps me interested at the tasks at hand. The resourcefulness to find the answers to what you need and ask the right questions to solve the problems make you valuable to yourself, but also the organization that you work for. Sometimes I need to do something that might require me to figure out some CSS that's giving me some trouble, but no one is going to tell me exactly how long that should take. If it takes an hour, that might be fine, but it's probably not worth it to continue to fiddle on something that might take 8 to 12 hours over the course of several days. So sometimes myself, I have to fight the perfectionist in me, and it's a constant battle of juggling between tasks to try to create what creates the most impact for the least amount of time and effort. Oftentimes during the day, people will reach out for help or changes, and depending on what you're doing or working on, you'll likely have to reshuffle what you're doing daily or sometimes even hourly. Aside from that, I work on all kinds of different tasks throughout the day, from designing pages to writing CSS to managing the back end of our websites to working on our SaaS platforms in Figma and Photoshop and Illustrator to Google Sheets to Google Docs. So it's a wider range of topics and platforms, but I enjoy the flexibility and fluidity of it. The projects that I've worked on at IO have included designing and building the IO website, building IO's membership management platform, building the IO funding database, building the lodge, and helping build this program over the past 5 years, including the former career seeker database and designing the graphics and website for the current and new career seeker database as part of the work placement program. I think resourcefulness is really important, but I think a key part of what has helped me to succeed is being someone that people around me can count on. My reputation as a product or web designer has been the way that I've expanded my client network. Projects often fall into my lap because I've established a number of clients who can count on my work and know that I'll come through for their project. They, in turn, have colleagues with similar needs who recommend me for other projects. Being the guy when someone says, "Oh, I know a guy," has opened a lot of doors for me. I was in a program that centered around experience design, and I started after my undergrad degree at U of T. So I was focused on developing that skill set, but along the way, I picked up coding skills that I applied to WordPress, which was actually a very small part of our program. But these skills came in handy because while other students could only design the screens of web interfaces, I could do the same as well as make them come to life. And this is carried on throughout my career. I would also say be open to different opportunities that might arise when you're starting out. If you have a goal to be somewhere specific, keep that in mind, but opportunities lead to more opportunities, and experience in one role might help you to develop soft skills for the role that you really want. or you could be surprised by the role that you're in and turn out to love it. For me, problem solving is a bit like a Sudoku or brain teaser that scratches an itch, like a puzzle game. And over time, you develop not just the skills to tackle problems, but perspectives of looking at problems that make them easier to solve. If I had a job that was more straightforward without this puzzle solving aspect, I would probably get bored in a role like that. Something that I've loved in my career has been using the skills I have to support programs that I care about, whether that's volunteering to help build a site for the Children's Book Bank to help promote literacy for kids in Toronto, or supporting queer artists and activists through Cabaret Commons with colleagues of mine, or supporting the work placement program and helping get more talented Black faces into the industry. I worked on some important projects scale-wise, but this is the kind of work that I've been really proud of in my career. Not everyone's path into the industry is the same. There may be someone in your program who gets a job straight into the industry and succeeds where you don't, which can be discouraging. But if you have a specialty or particular area that you're interested in or excel at, nurture and water that skill. That skill might be the thing that gets you into the role at a company, helps you get your foot in the door, and then the industry at large. Or you may become the person when someone says, hey, I know a person who does that. If you're a student watching this, I started this role sitting where you are now as a third semester placement as part of my postgraduate certificate at Centennial College. I was recommended that role because my teacher saw me go above and beyond in classes that fit this skill set, and they recommended me for placement at IO.